All right, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are at Wintry First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it'll be a great one between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Shoot. Watch the shoot. Check 13. Check.
Alert, alert. Alert, alert.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
180. Regular.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Say.
80 weapon. Real. Watch.
They go play action. Mayfield. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for Cleveland. 45 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Mayfield looks to throw, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Mayfield keeps it himself. Only a yard on the sneak, not what he was hoping for, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, partner, they went a little conservative, didn't they? And they ended up marking it short. And now I wonder, will they even do it again on 3rd down?
20.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Mayfield going to take it on the sneak. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield taking it in. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Watch QB drop.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
It's funny, partner. Le'Veon Bell, when he came out of Michigan State, when I go back and look at my analysis of him and what my grades were for him, thought he was a big-time player, great potential. but I didn't know we were going to get this player. I was used to a big, solid, thick running back, but now I've got a full package, a guy who can do everything, as we just saw there, including breaking tackles.
But at the time, second-round pick in 2013, some people probably wishing they'd taken him in the first. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Hey, Team 6, Team 6.
Here's Mayfield. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
57 to Mike.
Hey, Zoo.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go.
Watch the edge.
Real.
Check 37.
Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Seibert able to knock this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
He's brought down at the 31. A 3-yard pickup.
The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter as they've got it 2nd and 7. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Darnold now to throw. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They had no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Pistol. Run. Go. Let's go.
From the 27, Mayfield. He completes it to Hunt. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Hey, alert 33.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to run him.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Hunt. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now, after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
Push him back.
Now a handoff here to his running back. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Darnold. Letting one go deep for a noon one. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Darnold. Open man is Anderson. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Darnold completes it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The end result, 21 yards. Darnold from the red zone now. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 2nd down, it's Bell, and he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Darnold toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is something.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go, here we go. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Check 9, check 9.
And that'll set them back 5. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Ready? Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch. I got it.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
30-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw on 2nd and 10. Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. This is taken at the 3. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Second catch of this AFC title game, and he's got a first down. All right, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are at Wintry First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it'll be a great one between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. This is taken at the 3. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And they're going to be set up with excellent field position to start the drive as that gets out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
Let's go, son. Hey, we got Mike, number 50.
On first down, it's Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
First down, New York.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Here's Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9. The 26-yard line.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Pilot, 64, weak. King.
Mayfield to throw it. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
180.
On first down, it's Hunt. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Rush in.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Set. 180. Regular. Up.
Mayfield off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Jenkins, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Hey, Haywood.
3rd and long for Mayfield. That one is caught by Hunt. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created. It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. He'll get it up the middle. There he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Jets will extend their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Smith.
To throw, Mayfield. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Five.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
On first down, Darnold. And Anderson's got it. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. His defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Looking to throw on second down. Darnold dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run with Hunt. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he loses the football a second time. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
Bell with a first down carry there as he'll get about 4 out of that. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
AFC title game, second quarter action, 2 minutes to play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual. As we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll try and run for it with Miller, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Lamar Miller. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. This is Bell. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Hey, Delta. Mike 56. Mike's 56. Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here. Set. Set.
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56. Watch the run.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And this Browns defense stands tall.